It's fall here in Ontario and the leaves are starting to fall and they're landing inside of the gutters of people's houses. When those gutters get full of leaves and debris and dirt, they can get clogged and it won't allow the water to flow from the roof to the downspouts. So it's really important that once, maybe twice a year, depending on where you live, that you get into these gutters with your hands, pull out all the dirt and debris, and make sure that water's flowing nicely. Okay, so we're gonna get up and clean these gutters. So you just need 4 things to do some gutter cleaning. First thing you need is a ladder, and those are called ladder stabilizers or ladder arms. They help get above the eaves trough. If you use those, 1, they're safer, and 2, they'll prevent the ladder from laying on the eaves trough, and so there won't be any dents in the eaves trough. So ladder stabilizer and a ladder number 1, a bucket number 2, so that you can carry this up and down the ladder and put the debris inside, and then once I come down from the ladder, I dump it into one of these leaf bags, and I can put that by the curb for somebody to pick up. And the other thing you really want is gloves, because it's pretty messy. You want to keep your hands clean, and it's also safer because you never know what might be inside of that gutter. So I just basically get up, take a look, and get my hands in there and pull out any debris I can and put it into the bucket and go all the way along. And I'm going to move my ladder all the way across the eaves trough until I've got all the debris. This is going to allow water to come off the roof into the eaves trough and flow nicely into the downspout away from your home. Really important thing to do at least once or twice a year. So we've just cleaned this section of the eaves trough, and what you can see is we've already got quite a bit of leaves and also a lot of dirt and gunk in there. So you can see inside the bag, there's a ton of dirt just from this one quick section. Once you've done the eaves troughs, you also have to check the downspouts because they can also get really clogged. And I can show you an advanced tip of how to use a hose to get those downspouts unclogged. So here's a pro tip for you. You might have cleaned all your eaves trough, but water is still not flowing out of your downspout. That could mean that your downspout is really clogged, and that's hard to get to. So one thing you can do is take a hose and put it into the top of the downspout and push it in and turn the water on. That will shoot water through, and you can snake through the hose, and that'll clean through your whole downspout. Let me show you how. The water is starting to come down through the downspout. I see it coming out, but it looks like we've got this leak unclogged. Okay, so we've gone around the house, we've cleaned out all the eaves troughs and gutters. We've also made sure that the downspouts are clean of any debris and any leaves. This is a really important maintenance thing that you do to your house at least once, maybe twice a year. It's important that water can flow off your roof, into your eaves, and down your downspouts. If you're not making sure that those are unclogged, you could have water damage inside of your home. So if you like what you learned today, take a subscribe and a like to Absolute Home Services, or give us a call for a free quote and we'll come out and do the work for you. And if you don't want to do this once or twice a year, a great solution is to get gutter guards that you put on top of the eaves troughs, and that stops debris from getting in, so you won't have to do it very often. Okay, so we're going to clean the outside of these gutters. Sometimes mildew can really grow on the outside of gutters and they start to look pretty old, but with a little bit of cleaning, you could get these gutters looking like brand new with some soap, some water, and some hard work. These gutters are going to look great. Okay, so we're going to clean the outside of the eaves troughs and soffits here. As you can see, they're pretty stained with mildew, which happens to all eaves troughs over time, and a lot of them are white. So we're going to clean them. From here, we can just use this scrub brush because it's nice and low. Otherwise, you might have to get on a ladder, but this scrub brush is a great tool. We're going to use this siding cleaner. This siding cleaner can be used manually, or it can be used with a power washer, where the power washer sucks it in and you spray it on. But we're going to use it manually. I find using a scrub brush and really getting some elbow grease into cleaning the eaves trough is the best way to do it. So we're going to put some water into this bucket, and then we're going to dilute it with, so we're going to use water dilute the solution of this siding cleaner. And one other tip is just to pre-water some of this. It will work better if it's just rinsed off a little bit first too. So I always like to make sure you put the water in first before you put the solution in, so that it's diluted in case there's any spray back there. Okay, so I've scrubbed it on, rinse it off. Okay, so I've done just a small section and it looks way better, but there is still some staining there. So I'm gonna take a second pass at it. One thing I like to do is make sure that I'm keeping this really full and agitating it and making it bubbly. That will make it more effective. So I'm gonna do a second pass at this. Okay, so I've used the scrub brush twice on this section of the eaves trough and soffit. It's much cleaner than it was, and you can see from looking at the other part how much we've gotten off. It's certainly not brand new, and there's some deep staining, and often on white eaves trough and soffits, you'll have deep staining. You won't be able to get everything off unless you paint it, but this looks way better than it did. So once we're done this section, we want to clean off this deck. It's got a lot of soap, you can see. And by the way, we actually revitalized this deck. You can see a video of us taking it from bare wood, cleaning it, sanding it, and putting this nice solid stain on it. So you can see the link to that video below. But I'm going to clean off all this soap so that it doesn't wreck our freshly stained deck. Okay, so we've gone around and cleaned all the exterior of the gutters and the soffits to get some of that black mildew off. This is something that's really easy to do with some vinyl and siding and eaves trough cleaner. You can do it yourself, or you can call Absolute and we'll do it for you. Some of these areas are pretty high up as 20 feet, so you might not be comfortable getting on a ladder. We've got crews who are trained in safety and have the right equipment. So give us a call at Absolute Home Services for a free quote on your eaves trough siding cleaning. We're gonna clean up this interlock today. It's got a lot of weeds growing through the cracks, so we're gonna use a power washer to clean up the interlock and all the cracks, and also clean the tops of the bricks. Once we're done power washing, we're gonna put in some poly sand, which is a sand, but it's polymeric, meaning when it gets wet, it gets hard, and it'll keep those weeds out. So every 2 or 3 years, you're gonna have to clean up your interlock to make it look like brand new. Okay, so we're gonna get started on power washing this interlock. So what we've got here is a gas power washer. It's the Stihl RB200. We've rented this from Mount Nemo Sales and Service for the day. They're a great shop in Burlington where you can rent lots of lawn and garden equipment. This power washer is a gas power washer. I like gas power washers because they provide a lot more power. This is about a 3,500 PSI power washer, meaning it has a lot of pressure. The thing I like most about this power washer is this attachment that goes with it. It's a circular attachment that allows the water to spread across the top of the brick. So it's gonna allow us not only to clean within the cracks of the brick, but also on top. So we start using with this attachment to get the top and the surface level, then we'll pull it off and we'll use a nozzle to get into the cracks. Once we've got deep into the cracks, allowing some room for sand to get in, we'll add some poly sand to fill the cracks. First thing you want to do before you ever start a power washer is make sure the water is on. If you don't turn the water on to the power washer and you start it, you can blow out the engine. So I've double checked, the water is already on. The hose is attached here at the bottom. So I'm gonna turn the power washer on. There's a choke, so I'm gonna choke it so that it starts. So I turn it over and just start. One thing you wanna do is get the pressure off. So if you just take a little push of the nozzle, it will release the pressure, and that's gonna allow it to start a little bit easier. So we've got a small section done with the attachment, and you can see already how much the cracks are getting pulled with all the dirt and all the weeds. So you can really see why poly sand's a really important part of your interlock, and that every few years you're going around washing it, getting rid of the weeds, and filling all those cracks to prevent weed growth. Okay, so we've cleaned the entire area using the attachment, which provides circular motion to the cleaning. So it cleans the top of the bricks. It also cleans inside of the cracks. So now we're gonna go a second time, and we're gonna take that attachment off, and we're gonna use a nozzle to get into the cracks and also to get rid of all the dirt and mud. The most important thing here is that you're very careful about where you're shooting the water, because there's gonna be a lot of dirt and a lot of sand that comes up out of here. And we had mistakes before where if you're shooting it and you're not paying attention, you could shoot that sand all over the house. You could shoot it into a pool. You could shoot it all over the place. So the entire time that you're shooting the water, it's a lot of pressure and it's gonna direct. So you wanna direct it into an area where it's okay to send. So we're gonna direct all of the water towards the gardens and the lawn and make sure that we're not directing it towards the house and the windows. If we were in a backyard where you had a nice pool, we would not take the nozzle to the interlock because it will surely blow that sand into your pool and you will not be happy. We're trying to clean the place, not make it worse. Just to show you the inside of this, so the water you can see is squirting out of these two nozzles. You can also see there's a lot of dirt in here and these are very, very tiny. So we do have sometimes an issue where with all this dirt and sand, it clogs these two holes. So what we do as a general practice is we usually have 2 of these at all times. So when one gets clogged, we don't lose any productivity, we just snap another one on. We also rent these from Mount Nemo Sales and Service, and they take them back and they service them every time. And to get these cleaned out, you just need a little air compressor, just shoot into those nozzles and make sure that they're nice and clean. So 2 tips. Make sure you always have 2 of these at all times. Make sure you use an air compressor to clean out these holes. So we're gonna add a nozzle to the end of this. So a power washer comes with no nozzle. And most power washers like this, you have a 15 degree, 25, and 65 degree, meaning that that's the size of the spray. I also have in my hand 1 or 0 degree. So 0 degree is like a pin. It can be actually dangerous, and if you use it, you could actually chip the stone. But it could be a really good tool if you're very careful. If you wanted to get into those cracks and make sure you got everything out, you could use it, but I'd be very careful to use this. We're not gonna use it today. We're gonna use the 15 degree. We find that this one works generally the best in this situation. So you could use a 25 and 65 to get a wider spray. We're gonna use 15 today. So we're gonna make sure we're spraying away from the house. Be very careful not to spray towards the house. The next step in cleaning up your interlock is to add some poly sand. We've already cleaned the entire surface, cleaned all the cracks and got all the weeds. So there's enough space for us to add it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some polymeric sand. We picked this up from Hamilton Building Supply in Burlington. Polymeric sand comes in different colors. This one's beige, but you can pick a variety of different colors. So you want it to match the past sand that you had. So take a look at that. So we're gonna pour a little bit. We've already done some of it, so we just wanna show you how to do it. So it's better to use less than more and put it in lines and you can keep adding it. You don't want to have too much poly sand because then you'll have to scoop it off. And you want to just push it. One of the most important things to know when you're putting down polymeric sand is that it cannot be put onto wet stone. If it's wet, it will activate the polymeric sand and leave what they call a haze across all of the stone. So it's really important that it's a 2-step process. You wash it, make sure it's nice and dry before you put that polymeric sand down. So we have cleaned the interlock, we've gotten into the cracks, we've put poly sand into the cracks. So we're on to the second last step, which is to blow all the excess sand off of it. It's a really important part because if you don't get it off the top of the stones, it's gonna create what they call hazing, and you're gonna see haze all over this there. So we've got our Stihl SH86. This is a shredder blower, so we can blow us sand off for us. Okay, so last step in repairing the interlock is to activate the sand that we've put into all the joints, and you activate it by lightly misting all of the stone. So we've got this on the mist setting, and we're gonna get that going. We're gonna activate the poly sand so it's nice and hard and keeps those weeds out. Okay, so we've made this patio look great. It was full of weeds all over. We power washed it, got all the weeds out. We put some poly sand in there, we blew it off, and we agitated or activated the poly sand by misting it. If you want more videos like this, you can like and subscribe to Absolute Home Services, or if you'd like to have us come out and do the work for you, give us a call for a free quote and we'll have a project manager come by.